All right, I see we have one user. There's my beautiful oldest daughter. He now has an nice. There's my hello viewer. Hopefully you can hear both of us.
I think they can. Why don't you let us know if you can by telling us who you are?
Yes. We're trying something out a little bit differently today.
Again,
Always.
we're trying to perfect this
YouTube lives.
hangout. Lies that we're doing it or lies that we're trying to make it better?
How's that we're trying to make it better?
You guys are not bad.
What? I'm not ready.
Not ready. Be ready.
I'm ready. You ready? What's your illegal phone and your Android phone ready?
If I had an Android phone,
I've been interested in that. Yeah. Welcome to Tech Talk SA with your host Craig Gaines and
Jeremiah Campbell.
Whoa.
Did you like that radio voice?
That was fantastic. I saw your head rushing to the microphone.
Well, I wanted to make sure the entire world that's listening right now,
They could just
they
hear
heard my
your
name.
anticipatory.
I love it. It's a wonderful Saturday night again here in our lovely studio, and I'm ready. I'm feeling good.
Good. I
Feeling
think you're just
excellent.
ready for the Spurs game.
I am ready. I just don't. I hope I can stay up late enough.
You and I, us playoff fans,
Yes.
we're ready.
I am ready. I'm enjoying it. Are
Me
you
too.
watching any
I have watched all of the games so far.
so far?
So far.
Okay, are you gonna watch all of them as they happen?
I'm gonna try.
I hope so.
Let's see what happens.
Oh, it's the year. I can feel it.
They're looking pretty good,
They're looking real good.
but they gotta get past whoever they play.
Who will probably be?
I don't know. It's pretty close.
That's a pretty close
It could
series
be a
too.
toss-up.
Yeah, who won last night? Do we know? Oakland.
Okay, see, Oakland. Does Oakland have a basketball team? They have
It should be in bed already.
maybe.
Oklahoma
Does
is.
Golden State play in Oakland?
It's the Bay Area. I think they're like in the middle of San Francisco, Oakland, something like that.
Okay. This is why
Wonderful.
we are not covering a sports radio show.
Right. This is not Sports Talk SA. This is Tech Talk SA.
Exactly.
We have a little bit more knowledge of what's going on in the tech world. So we're so glad that you're here with us tonight, listening on AM 630 KSLR, KSLR.com, or watching on our YouTube channel through the Google Hangout, which is awesome.
Yes.
I hope you're watching, or watching this week sometime.
Yes. You can catch us later in the week as well at any point in time. So if you missed part of the show because you're in your car, you can catch up with us later. Just going to youtube.com/techtalksa.
Yes, but I know if you're listening in the car, you always sit there and wait till we're done. Because that's how you do it. If you find something interesting, you sit there and let it finish, and then you go inside.
Exactly.
That's how I roll.
So, speaking of rolling, let's roll on to that first story that we have for you today.
Yes.
So, researchers have uncovered some Android-based malware that disables an infected phone until the end user pays a hefty cash payment to settle trumped-up criminal charges involving the viewing of illegal pornography.
That to me sounds a little fishy.
Yes. So there's actually, so before I get into all what happens once you get this on your phone, the only way you can get this at this point in time is if you are on a pornography site
Right.
with an Android phone,
Mm-hmm.
and you decide to install something from their website. So you can't get this any other way.
Right.
So you have to be specifically doing this one thing.
Right. So something happened. You make a slip up, and this gets on your phone, and you'll see that they want a fine of about $300.
Yeah, I think that's about the average is $300.
Right.
And it is untraceable via money once you send it to them. So they don't know who it's going to.
So they don't know who it's going to, and when you send it, does it come off?
I believe it does come off. So what this is actually called is it's a ransomware,
Right.
which is I don't think anything we've covered on the show yet.
No.
So everybody's familiar with like malware, which includes like viruses and ransomware and trojans and all of these things. Everything's included under this malware.
Right.
But ransomware is one of those things. And what it normally does, it disables the use of whatever device it's on, whether it's computers or phones now, and doesn't give you access until you pay however much they want. And this discovery comes 18 months after researchers from Symantec have found that so-called ransomware extorts an estimated $5 million a year
Whoa.
from users on traditional computers.
Wait, I've heard about it on traditional computers, and people have said they've had it on there, and I've taken it off a few computers, but I don't know anybody that's paid it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not familiar with this so much at all. Truthfully.
Yeah.
I've never run across it in my time working on computers.
Yeah, I've had it come up, and basically when you turn the computer on, you can't do anything.
Right. So yeah, in this case, what happens? It's actually a browser window that pops up after like 5 seconds of. You can press the home button and it'll go to the home page, but after 5 seconds of it being on the home page, pops up and you can't do anything.
Right.
I mean, you can press the home button again, but then 5 seconds later. So it's gonna annoy you into pain. You can uninstall it if you can get to the settings page in time to drag it up to uninstall it.
So is there a way? So is that the only way to remove it at this point?
As far as I know, yes, that's the only way to remove it.
What if you put your phone back to factory settings?
That's true. You could reset your phone back to factory settings, and that should get rid of it.
But if you sync your phone again, would it download the same?
Since the way, for the most part, the way Android works is Google has, and it could be different for different manufacturers,
Right.
Whether it's HTC or Samsung or whatever. I know that my phone, I have a Nexus 5 from Google. And the way that works is if I were to reset my phone to factory settings, it would download everything back to my phone that was on the Google Play Store. So anything that's not on the Play Store, it won't
could sync
reinstall.
because it doesn't know the sync.
Right. I don't know if Samsung and HTC and LG and all these other phone manufacturers do it differently.
Right.
But I'm assuming they follow a similar model.
I would assume that as well.
Yeah.
So number one is just stay away from porn sites.
Yeah.
Number one, that's just horrible. Number two, if you're gonna go to a porn site, don't download anything from it. So just stay away. I mean and being Christians, I mean it's dangerous territory if we go into websites like that. And
I think it's just one more reason other than it's going to cause marriage problems.
Right, your phone's the least of the problems that it's going to cause.
It's true.
Going to these websites, which is why we need to stay away from them.
But I mean, that's just one more problem that's going to cause for you.
Yeah.
It's going to destroy your marriage, your phone, your life.
Yeah, it tears a lot of things up. This here says holds the entire hard drive hostage until the end user pays a Bitcoin ransom of $300.
Most people probably don't even know what Bitcoin is.
I think we could probably have a whole show on that.
We should cover. It's a digital currency. So
right.
Let's start to say that for now, and then we can cover it maybe next show.
I think that'd be a great idea because I don't fully understand it as well. I mean, I've read things on it, but
there's a bunch of different ones out there. So
yeah,
that'll be an interesting topic.
So, anyways, paying a lot of money to get. So don't pay. It's ransomware. Don't go to these sites. Definitely watch where you take your phone.
Exactly.
On the internet.
I think another thing is don't lend your phone to anyone else. Because I mean,
Yes.
there's potential for someone else to do this too.
Right. That is right on. Because the other thing about lending your phone to someone, if you lend it to a teenager, you will find 100 selfies on your phone after that.
We actually run into that, not selfies, but someone at work loves to take photos of other people's cell phones. It's usually an iPhone, and it ends up with 50,
Uh-huh.
100, 150 photos of just random
Nice.
things just by pressing the camera button.
I could handle random things, but my teenagers and at the school, they just take pictures of themselves. Wonderful. It's great.
It's a little awkward to have
It is.
photos of
Yeah.
young people on the phone.
Yeah.
Well, you don't
Making
know.
their duck face and
Yeah.
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 It's quite entertaining. So again, careful with your phone. Careful where you take it in public, but careful definitely on the kind of places that you venture out on the internet. Definitely be careful with that. Now, can I say something real quick? Something I just did this afternoon.
Sure.
I actually have a website left on my iPad, and it was for Card Pull. You ever been to Card Pull?
No, but I believe
Love it.
I've heard of websites similar to this.
Love it. So I had to return to a big, large blue and yellow store.
Yes,
I had my receipt, but they only have a 15-day return policy. Were you aware of that?
on some things, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, and I hadn't even opened it. So they had to give me store credit.
Yeah.
So I walked around the store for about like 30, 40 minutes.
Couldn't find anything.
I don't want a thing. So then I remember, hey, there's a website I can go to. It's called Card Pull, and they buy your gift certificates.
Yeah.
Lovely. They used to give you a gift certificate to Amazon, or they did to me, and that was probably about a year ago, but I got an Amazon gift card for the amount. Now, I didn't get the full amount. I had like, I don't know, it was like $37.88.
No 30.
No,
No.
no, the item I purchased, that's how
Okay,
much
gotcha.
it cost with tax. So that's a weird amount on a gift card. But anyways, that it was because it was store credit. So when I go in there, and then they just give you a percentage of that because they're going to go back and sell it. But
Right.
so they're going to send me a check. But I like getting an Amazon gift card. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, I've seen some of these places where you can actually just exchange with another user who has a gift card that you might get to a different store.
That would have been much better.
I don't remember what they are, but yeah, there's been a few of them throughout the years that have done similar things to them.
Right. I just wanted to say that I like doing
But yeah, cards are pretty cool.
that. Very nice. So let's go on to our next news story that we have.
We have time before the break.
There's only a couple minutes, so we can. We're gonna have a break here in a moment, but let's give them a teaser.
Sure.
What's gonna come after the break?
So, are you ready for a revolution in the way you use your credit card?
Well, that depends, because
In
like
a
the
good way.
normal way that I use it,
In a good way.
in a good way.
You'll have to stay and find out.
Well, because there's a lot of things out there now.
There are a lot of things.
So I hope this is like super cool.
It may scare some users, but I think overall it's a good change.
And using credit cards is, I don't carry cash anymore.
What's cash?
Yeah, I have no cash.
Well, I always hate that. Going like downtown or something.
Yes.
Nobody accepts
Oh,
a credit card. It's like cash or checks. I went to a hospital recently, and it was like, oh, accept credit cards, only cash and checks to pay for parking. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure that wasn't told to me when I got in the parking lot.
right.
I don't know how many IOUs I owe to random
Well,
parking lots.
that's the thing though, is now I can take a credit card from you.
I know anybody can take it. You just get a Square or even PayPal. Does
PayPal does it. Well, actually, and then I know someone, one client of mine used Chase,
Yeah.
and they sent me like an email, and I had to go register with Chase, which was kind of irritating, but I got the money.
You
I
can
mean-
do, I think, like wire transfers.
Yeah.
You can send money through Google Wallet or through
Right.
Gmail.
Oh, there's a lot of things coming up with Google Wallet now. They're really trying to do, all kinds of things with that. Google's awesome.
They're always trying to improve the way you use technology.
So we're going to talk about here after the break. We're going to talk about a complete overhaul of our credit card system.
Well, I don't know about complete. But
Well, I hope it's good.
it's America, so there's only so much you can do without scaring everybody away.
Nice, nice. Yeah, and so, speaking. Well, there we go. That's the music.
We'll be right back after this.
You want to just go home then? Yeah, let's go.
Woo, Mr. Jeremiah.
A small business or a large business, we can help. We provide IT support customized for your needs. Call us for a free consultation, and we'll meet together to come up with a plan to get your computer system running smoothly, so you can focus on your customers. We come to your place of business, and also
Curly was my wife.
That was it.
Yeah, so
just consider Campbell Communication and Technology.
I'm not actually looking at the hangout. Oh,
Call me at 210-704-7228. That's
we have someone in here,
7228.
Hello, someone.
but I'm not entirely sure what you're typing.
By the way, it was Melissa that paid me with Chase. And it wasn't that irritating, just so you don't feel bad, Melissa.
Oh no, that's I do that with my dad all the time. It sends sends you an email or a text
Yeah.
message, and then after that you get a chance to accept the payment, and then it goes to you.
Now that I'm registered, it's great, but
Yeah.
the whole registration part took a couple of days, but
Welcome back to Tech Talk SA. You are listening to
Live.
Jeremiah Campbell.
and Craig Gaines.
We always have to name each other's names.
That is just the most magical moment of this radio hour.
I
Saying
would
your
start,
name.
I would start singing this magic moment, but it may be too much for the listeners.
Yes, please don't sing, because then I'll have to sing. And nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that. We're glad you're listening tonight here on AM 630 KSLR, KSLR.com, or through our Hangout, or Google Hangout, and YouTube. We want to welcome those viewers. We could say viewers and listeners here.
We can. But
And-
not many radio shows can.
No, but we can, because we are on top of tech.
We are Tech Talk.
Yes, I like this being on the one camera. So if you're listening on the radio, we actually, a couple times we've done being on the same camera, and a few times we've done a camera on each of our laptops or what have you. And I like being on the same camera. We just got to figure out this microphone thing.
Yes.
So we're working hard to.
That's the hardest part.
Yes,
Is the audio.
the most difficult, because the table's hard.
That's true. That's true. We know we were going into grammar
That's
class.
like the only grammar
Thing
rule
that
I
bugs
know.
you?
Yeah.
There's tons of
It doesn't even really bug me. It just, I like to say it, and
Yeah.
it throws people back. So, what? You grammar? Yeah. I'm the grammar king.
You grammar?
Not funny. All right. All right.
You know grammar.
So,
So we're here
Oh,
to talk about
man.
the United States credit card system
killing me tonight.
being overhauled in the next 18 months.
18 months.
I know that sounds really fast.
That
but
is fast.
if you've been listening to the show, you'll know that's about time,
Yes.
because we've talked about the Target breach
Right.
of everyone's credit cards being stolen there, plus all their other information being stolen. Michael's and tons of other, not Mike, was it Michael's? Yeah, Michael's.
Yeah.
Because
That was actually a lot of places.
there were
Tons.
4 or 5, I think. Yeah,
No, I think there's more than that.
there were probably.
They just didn't get,
I don't remember.
the media just didn't cover it.
Sure.
The left side of the media.
I think what happened was Target took the blow, and
Yeah,
everybody else just kind of was like falling under the radar.
Well, yeah, because Target was so large.
Yes.
But we still love Target. We do anyway. My family.
Good to know. Good to know. So everybody knows that credit cards and debit cards use a little strip on the back. It's a magnetic strip.
Right.
So whenever you swipe the card, it pulls information from that strip and then fills it in on the system that needs the information.
Yes.
And so it's been this way for, I think, 50 years or so.
Right. But in the commercial, they never show you swiping that way. Have you noticed?
Mhm.
Yeah, in the commercial, they always swipe it so you can see the number and see the emblems on the card and everything.
I never
Watch
paid that much
watch
attention.
next time.
There you go.
Anyways, because all right. Anyways, yeah.
So they're moving to an embedded chip technology. So from what I have experienced in the past, this is what is called RFID. So it's usually radio frequency identification.
right.
That's just, it's a little chip that sits on the inside of the card. When touched against something else that can read it, it will then transfer the information.
Yeah. Well, that's actually been around for some time.
It's been around for a long time, and it's been available and in use in Europe and Asia for a long time. Apparently, America is the only one who can't get with the program
Right.
and use a technology that is more secure than something that's 50 years old. Technology shouldn't be around for 50 years. Let's be
Right.
honest.
Right. Yeah. It should be updated and moved along.
Yes, there's a reason you're not still using a computer that fills a room.
Yes.
It fits in your pocket now.
Right.
So it's every once in a while you got to upgrade the technology, and America is finally getting behind it. It just took millions of people's information and credit card information being stolen.
Right.
Sadly, that's what happened, but that's the way it is. So
Well, you know, I don't think it's necessarily the companies as much as I think it's the consumer.
no, it's the credit card companies.
No.
They didn't want to switch.
Well, I think it's because consumers don't like change. I'm going to tell you.
If
Okay.
you're forced to change, though, you have
Right.
no option. I mean,
Sure. If you're forced to change, but
It's the same thing with all technology, though.
let me tell you, you know, I worked for a credit card company for a while, and I took these phone calls. I was
Right.
customer service, and you would not. I mean, some of the craziest things because the smart chip has been out,
Right.
even in the U.S.,
Sure.
but people just
In
don't want to
limited
use it
use.
in limited use. But I think you know one of the biggest thing I noticed was when back, oh gosh, it had to be 10, 15 years ago, when customers would get so upset at asking for their ID with a credit card.
Yes, I have experienced that as well.
And even as I would say even 7 years ago, people just did not want to show ID with it.
I feel like people are not aware that that is a security thing.
Right, especially if it's not signed on the back.
Exactly. You're
I don't
supposed to
sign.
check.
Yeah, I don't sign my credit cards because I want them to ask for ID.
Right, and sometimes you can write ask
ID,
for
yeah.
or something like that. Some people adhere to that. Some people don't care at all.
Exactly,
They
and
just take it and like it.
I'll tell you, we went to Tennessee, and man, everybody in Tennessee, whether it was signed or not, wanted to see ID.
That's good.
It's awesome.
I think it protects them as well as it
Oh,
protects you.
without a
So,
doubt, without a doubt. Because if you claim the card stolen, and then all of a sudden these charges are reversed, I'm sure somebody has to pay for it.
and the business doesn't want it
Yeah.
to be them. So.
Yeah.
So what this means is if a store does not adopt the new card readers,
Right.
they will be accountable for any fraudulent face-to-face transactions.
Yes.
And companies like Square or PayPal who take credit cards,
And you can slide them on there.
yeah, anybody can use those systems through like an iPad or an iPhone or an Android phone. We'll have to reissue new card scanners as well to support the new system.
Right.
And it's likely to go in very soon.
Well, now can I carry an RFID reader and get close enough to the card to steal the information?
That has been everybody's fear.
Right.
And it depends on how they implement the technology. So it depends on the range that they allow the RFID card to be read.
Right.
And that's really, that's really up to
The manufacturer,
the
yeah.
card holder, not card holder, but the card issuer. Yeah. So usually that's not a big problem. Somebody would have to go up there and essentially touch your
Yeah.
your back pocket, or
With the reader.
with the reader.
Right.
It's a little obvious.
Well, as long as I can still get Care Bears on my credit card, then I'll be all right.
I'm sure you'll be able to bling them out as much as you
I
want.
love the Care Bear stare. I was a huge Care Bear fan.
I would not mind cards getting smaller with this change,
Yes.
because the magnetic stripe, I believe, is wide. It's so wide.
Yeah, I can see that. Now there was there's a company. I guess they're going to have to change the way they're doing things. They were coming out with a card that you could essentially put all of your cards into this, but it was a swipe, so they're going to have to change theirs as well.
But I think it'll be easier to implement with a touch to.
Oh, I think so.
So the upgrade will take about 3 years for everything to switch over.
Right.
But in the next 18 months, you'll see a big change. You'll probably get new credit cards and debit cards.
I love new cards.
I do. I just got a new card though. That's the only thing that's terrible. If they can reissue a new card and it's the same number, I'm totally fine with that.
Right.
If it's a
Oh,
different
yes.
number, that's when I'm like,
That's kind of because you got to, especially if you have things automatically taken out, or you have signed up on Amazon and things like that, you just pay with that credit card. You got to go and change it, and with different things that come out automatically off that card. Oh man, yeah, you get emails saying I couldn't get a payment because the credit card doesn't work anymore.
well, yeah. So I think the other thing that this can lead to is that you'll be able to pay with your phone a little easier. I know there are many payment methods that support that, like Google Wallet. There's one supported by phone, cell phone carriers. Theirs is called ISIS.
Right.
There's a couple other ones out there. I think one's supported by Visa and MasterCard and all that stuff. I think you're going to see that take off a little bit more, and that's huge in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is essentially your phone. You don't
Yeah.
have a wallet.
Oh,
You
yeah.
pay for everything with your phone. Everything's done through your phone.
Which I love.
So
I love that.
I-
So we're gonna be heading into a break here. It's our midway point. We got some more stories coming up, some more things to talk about. So stay tuned to Tech Talk SA on AM 630 KSLR.
That was awesome, Mike. Thank you. I was like, what's happening?
Yeah, I hadn't heard that song in a while, and I didn't catch it at first. Like, what is that?
I said it before, yeah. Yeah, it is a good song. So what do you want to talk about? You just want to go into the prosthetic arm?
Yeah.
In the next,
Recently, I had some surgery.
and then,
Well, let's do the biggest tech buzzwords. I like that.
okay. We can skip the mind control prosthetics and maybe do it next week.
Yeah.
Hope we have more time after the,
After the
yeah.
I didn't do anything today. It sounded like my knee should be sore or anything. So these are the listeners here.
Some people.
Cody, hello Cody. Hello Thomas Berman 1. Awesome. Glad you guys are joining us. Keep watching.
631 trim to talk to the medical counselor and let them know that I told you to ask them about the written form. My name's Joy. My number once again, 888-631 trim. Call today. But what then with John's Burning Stroll is happening Saturday, May 10th at the Ron San Antonio at Lockerboro Parkway. It's a volunteer, it's a gift, it's a run, it's a walk, it's a stroll. But the bottom line is that it benefits any baby can and honors the memory of young lives in June soon. It's the 12th annual John's Running Slow, Saturday, May 10th at Ryan San Antonio on Lockerboro Parkway. For more information, call the Any Baby Can SA.org. Linda.com for Ryan and San Antonio. You can call me. So great. We make a great app. We look for the ones that haven't made it anymore. If you're new to San Antonio or haven't found a church that you can call home, check out the church directory at KSLR.com. There you'll find a church near you, like Calvary Chapel, San Antonio, Four Winds Bible Church, Lakeland Baptist Church, Trinity Baptist, Freedom Fellowship, Lighthouse Baptist, and hundreds more. Find your home at the church directory at ASLR.com. This is Dave Cross. Why is the North Gospel Tour so special? A quick glance at our itinerary.
Oh, Apple's trying to buy Beats. You see that?
Yeah, I just don't get that. Doesn't make any sense to me.
I think it's one of the articles said maybe it was like get their challenge.
I mean, not for 3.2 billion. There, that seems way overpriced.
Unless they're making money off these headphones they're making.
I know, but they're not even that great of headphones.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Or if you're looking for really good headphones, they're not the ones to buy.
What are the ones buying?
There's a bunch of different ones out there. There's some really good ones from Audio Technica.
I like them when I tried them out. But I hadn't done any research on anything. I'm sure there are. Yeah. Bose probably better. No, Beats are cool. Dr. Dre. Like me some Dre. Like his app.
What?
That's why I like him, because his name's Doctor.
Okay, so apparently I was wrong. It's not. They're not using RFID.
Oh, okay.
They're using a technology called EMV.
EMV.
And so what that is you put your card into a slot and it reads the chip.
Ah.
Welcome back to Tech Talk SA with your hosts Craig Gaines.
Jeremiah Camp. I wanted to say you.
That's
It's all right. At Maya Camp on Twitter or Krog Galian.
maybe next time.
Maybe next time I can say your name.
So I have a small correction to make
Yes,
from the
our
last story.
tech prophet has to correct an error.
So I mentioned RFID in the last segment. It's not RFID that they're using. They're using EMV. And so what that is, there's a chip in the card itself,
Right.
and you slide it into a slot, and
That's how.
and it reads that chip from the slot.
So it's not a radio signal.
No. So it is more secure to do it that way.
Right. Beautiful.
So I'm sure we could go into that further, but that's just a small correction.
Excellent. So let's move on to our next article here that we're going to talk about tonight, which I think is awesome. I love it. This is something everybody, because there's things I don't even know, but there are buzzwords out there, aren't there?
There are tons of buzzwords, probably a lot that some people have probably never heard if they don't follow technology very closely.
Or you've heard them maybe in conversation on the news or seen them somewhere, and you just kind of nod your head and say, "Oh yeah, that sounds great." That's what I do.
Yeah.
But we got a list of buzzwords here that we're going to go through.
I think the first one's pretty interesting.
Yeah,
It's acqui-hire,
acqui-hire.
like an acquisition to hire employees, essentially. And so what that essentially means is people or companies buying another company for the talent and not for the product itself.
And who does that a lot?
Google does that
Google?
all the time. I
Google
know
does it?
I talked
Yeah.
about that in the
You
previous show.
mentioned it. Well, and that I was looking over this in the break, and I just brought up about Apple's buying Beats, and we were just having a short discussion on why Apple would be buying Beats.
Jeremiah thinks it's for the talent.
Right.
I think it would be just because Apple's crazy and they have so much extra money.
Well, they do have extra money, but I have the app. I'm part of Beats Music. You know, you can do 3 months free with AT&T.
That's how this doing. Apparently, it's doing pretty poorly.
Is it?
From what I've heard, yes.
I
That's
like it.
probably one of the things that will not continue, I'm assuming. Just because
Yeah, 'cause Apple has
its
their own.
stuff. So.
Yeah, that's sad that it's going to go away. But I can, I'm going to look at that. Stevie Ray Vaughan, Bob Dylan.
There are so many services out there that do that probably better
I
than Beats,
know,
though.
but
You got 3 months free, so
I
you're
got
like,
3
I'm in.
months free, so I'm going to try it. And,
There you go.
I don't have the headphones. We were talking about the headphones too, and so that's just acqui-hire.
There you go.
Maybe that's what I think Apple's doing. But
Who knows?
until they tell us, we'll never know.
I'm kind of hoping that the deal doesn't actually go through, but
That's a shoot. All right. So another thing that's a typical buzzword around is augmented reality.
yes.
And that's when you use a computer or phone to add computer-generated information to the real world.
So I'm sure most of y'all have seen like Terminator, where you kind of see through his perspective where it's, this guy's this
Yes.
size and all this stuff. That's essentially what it is. So in the near future, you'll probably see, and it is in some cars already, where maybe the GPS is just the speed is projected onto the windshield
Right.
instead of on a dash. And that's just augmented reality.
Should I tell a story with every buzzword that we're going through?
I don't know if we have that much time.
I'm going to tell you, they're making another Terminator. Did you know that?
It's Terminator Genesis, so it's kind of a reboot.
Yeah, which they need. But anyways, that was just, you brought up Terminator. And I had to. Oh, plus, I looked at the new Tahoe. Took a look at the Tahoe 2015.
Yep.
Pretty sneaky, lazy. I don't have to look. Sleek.
Sneaky, sleek, same thing.
Pretty close. Anyway, now we've already talked about this next word quite a bit.
The cloud.
The cloud. The cloud up above us, where it's this far off place that is up in the air. That's where our data and the internet is running.
So what is the cloud?
The cloud is storage.
Yeah.
Well,
it's
basically,
essentially servers that hold information on the internet.
From another location.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not in your same.
Yeah, I mean,
Building
you could
or-
essentially have your own cloud that you set up.
Well,
Could,
yeah.
if you plugged a thumb drive into your router at home or your Wi-Fi at home,
That's true.
it
There's your
could be,
cloud.
you could have your own cloud. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's really nothing special. It's just
I think everybody's heard that buzzword.
it's an easy word to use.
Yeah.
And overuse.
Yes, most definitely. We're going to keep going down the list here. Is there anyone that you want to hit specifically?
I want to skip over the quick currency. We can talk about that next week.
Yes.
Gamification.
Yes.
I thought that was an interesting one.
And there's a video here. Is this a TED Talk?
It could be.
I think it is a TED. I've seen this TED Talk.
There we go.
Yes.
There we go.
And it's just how you make gamification, how you make things into a game to make it more appealing. Is that what it is, basically?
Yeah, just give incentives to get things done.
I love TED Talk, by the way. Awesome.
Yeah, TikToks are fantastic. You want to learn about
Anything.
not just technology, but anything.
But yeah, so like a lot of health apps are gamified, or like we talked about Duolingo. Are you still using that?
No,
Yeah, I quit that.
but yeah, that's the same thing. It's just
You earn points and
you're
reach
competing against
goals.
somebody else. And
Yeah,
so, yeah.
it's a way to get people involved. So if you're gamifying something, gamification is just trying to make it fun and usable.
Some of these that we've talked about, I talked about the Internet of Things
Yeah,
a while back, and that's just referring to objects that you're not used to seeing online, like your thermostat or pretty much anything, your fridge, your coffee pot, pretty much everything is going to be on the internet pretty
Exactly.
soon, and that's just the Internet of Things.
and that's I'm building a house, right?
Yes.
And they're putting in a system that I can see my total energy usage.
Huge thing. What is the system? We should talk about this.
You want to talk about this? Okay.
Maybe not right now, but
The name Wiser.
what is it?
Wiser.
Not really.
I wasn't either until I looked them up from this home builder. But yeah, well, I'll get my stuff and then we'll talk about that.
I'm curious.
Yeah, it looks pretty fascinating to me. There's all kinds of pieces you can buy to it. So yeah, putting everything on the internet is
Exactly.
awesome.
So I'm sure everybody's heard the word startup. So that's it's just a new business.
Yeah.
It's just the tech industry word for a new business.
Yes. Next we have here quantified self.
Yeah, we talked about that previously because I love the quantified stuff. You do. I do. It's using technology to track data about your personal daily life.
Do you still wear your
I haven't worn it in a while.
watch or
My
health tracker?
my health tracker. I like to call it my lifestyle. My lifestyle tracker. Because it gets laughed every time. I
We were
say it.
supposed to talk about that after you've worn it for a while and give us an update.
I probably haven't worn it in about a week. Just because for a long time I hated wearing watches. And then I really started wearing it because I got this.
But you kind of get used to it after. And then when I forget mine, I feel my arm feels naked.
My arm feels fantastic now because I don't have anything on. I really hate
That's
I
awesome.
hate wearing extra things. Like even my wedding ring, as much as I love my wife, I mean, and it feels naked when I have it off. But now it's like it's uncomfortable. My pinky feels disassociated from the
Really?
rest of my hand.
I don't even notice mine anymore. Well, I've been married longer,
That's true.
and when I take it off, it feels really, really
Well,
fun.
yours is a lot smaller than mine too.
Well, that was
Mine
the
like goes out.
yeah. See that I had to find mine's the comfort band. See, and that was I told my wife I am not going to get married if I don't have a comfortable ring. And she went out and found this comfort band, which is very comfortable because we tried on a bunch of rings.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they hurt.
Yeah.
I don't wear jewelry, so I needed a ring that was comfortable, and that was the only way I was going to get married is if I had a comfortable ring.
His wife is agreeing.
Yes, and that was it. That was part of when I proposed. It was all about when she proposed to me. I said yes if you find me a comfortable ring.
I mean, that's the only way it's going to happen.
That's how I roll. So
You're just throwing lines out there about yourself.
yes, yes, yes. But no, I really did have to have a comfortable ring. That was I was going to marry her. There was no way that she would allow me to say no. So, um, but it had to be a nice ring.
I
She is just laughing at me in the corner. I don't know if I should bring her
I
anymore.
don't know. I think your rings are pretty classic.
Yeah, it's
It's
just
not really in style anymore. Um,
I'm not in style anymore either. So I
no,
think I match my ring pretty
no, but
well.
I think it's a very classic looking ring.
Yeah, it's just gold,
Yeah.
just pure.
Pure unadulterated gold.
Yeah, I didn't know gold was adulterated, but it is unadulterated.
It is unadulterated.
That's how I wear my gold.
So
Gold.
our last tech buzzword is wearables.
Ooh, I know what a wearable is.
What is a wearable?
It's wearable technology, and I think I know someone that wears it all the time.
I don't know either. Oh, that would be me.
That would be you.
So
Google Glass.
Google Glass is wearable technology.
Yes.
I
yes,
do
it
wear
is.
it all the time. Well, not all the time.
No,
A lot of time.
a lot of time
Mainly 8 to 5
at work.
at work.
At work. Does it annoy? I mean, are you used to it now? Did you wear glasses before?
I used to wear glasses. I wear contacts just because I hated wearing glasses.
Right.
And now I have something that is more attention seeking than glasses. Go
Yes,
figure what
go
it'll do
figure.
for technology.
That's right.
Go figure. But it also includes smartwatches
Right.
and fitness trackers.
Those are really popular.
Super popular. And
I almost bought one with my I almost said it.
your blue
My
and
Blue and yellow
like black and
return. They had some, and I really thought about getting one. But then I thought, well, I'm not really into fitness, so why don't I need one?
I think there's so much like buzz around wearables or fitness trackers that people wear them and they don't even think about it.
Right.
And so they're not getting any benefit out of it other than they've got it on at the time.
Yes.
So I mean, and that's what I found out about myself. It's like I'm going to work out regardless of whether I have this thing on or not, and I'm not going to work out regardless of whether I have this thing on or not.
Right.
It holds no incentive for me to do it.
No.
And the novelty wears off after a while.
Yeah. Which is why I didn't buy one. And I thought, you know what, I can waste my money on something else gosh, I really want to say this store's name.
I would recommend maybe not buying a fitness tracker.
Yeah. Well, I think rumors are the new phones that are going to start coming out will have some type of tracker on them.
They all kind of have a tracker. I mean,
Well, they're just going to get
you
better.
just have to have the software
Right.
to utilize the tracking. But
I don't know. Fitness tracker. If you see me in person, you will tell that I am not a fitness guru, fitness follower, fitness anything. So if I pulled out my fitness tracker, you'd be like, really?
What-
Why?
like mine, I feel like it's more of a hindrance than a help in a lot of cases. Like when I'm working out, it's kind of bulky. Mine is.
Yeah.
Most of them are a little sleeker. But it's like if I'm doing anything with my wrists,
Yeah.
I feel like it gets in the way. So
I just want to let you. Maybe it helps you work out because it's heavier.
Exactly. My left arm is so much stronger.
All right, we've got another segment left for you guys talking tech. We got a little bit more to go over, so stick around to Tech Talk SA on AM 630 KSLR. Oh, that's right. I didn't even think about that. That's right. We got to do that. We got to see the. Did Laura respond to you?
I'm Jeremiah Kemper, with Campbell Communication.
Jeremiah
Whether
King.
you're an individual, a small business, or a large business, we can help.
I would like your business. Let's
Customize
call my number.
Call us
When that song was Jeremiah's
for
Bullfrog,
free.
put it on that line.
Oh, yeah. All the time. They just start singing it. Yes. No. No.
Yeah, I'd be like,
Yeah.
not just on face. Have you been talking to
Yeah, you know. Let them have their fun.
How can that happen to you?
A brilliant commercial.
My computer is going slow. It is all in the details. So we are back here on Tech Talk SA. I'm sure you're listening on AM 630 or TechTalkSA.com or KSLR.com.
That's right. I know you're listening because the game hasn't started yet. So you are.
It hasn't?
No, I told you it was
probably the heat.
the heater before.
Yeah, they're getting trouble going on.
Yeah, and so we would give you updates, but I don't think that you're listening for updates on the Spurs game. You are listening because of our excellent, excellent tech information. And we want to wish everyone that is a mother happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Tomorrow is the.
Mother's Day of all Mother's Days.
That's right. And for every mother out there that's listening to Tech Talk, happy Mother's Day. We hope that it's a pleasant and enjoyable. What? That didn't come up on me. I'm sorry. My tech prophet over here is helping me work my iPad.
With iPads, they'll get you.
Well, I'm a little tired. I had a very long day.
Sure.
I didn't do a thing. Anyways, so
Think his wife just told him he took a nap.
I did because I knew it was going to be a late night watching Spurs game. So I had to make sure to get a nap in
It's
before
true. It's true.
the game came on and before I came to the show because it could be a late night. I just never knew.
So,
Let's talk about Google Maps.
Google Maps.
8.
Yeah, well, I mean, nobody knows. Nobody actually cares about the number version anymore.
That's true.
I think software has kind of moved beyond the numbers at this point.
Yeah.
I think you've seen that with like Windows. Wait, no, they went back to
They went back to the numbers.
Anything besides OS is better. But Google Maps has released major updates that adds a much requested feature in lane guidance.
Yes.
So I know a lot of
Oh,
GPS devices.
yes.
Like it tells you which lane you're in, which lane you need to be in.
Right.
But now they verbally tell you on Google Maps, and I've used this myself. I use it today.
Did you?
So they verbally tell you get in the left lane to turn left, and you need to be in the far left lane, and all that stuff. But it even shows you on screen, so it doesn't do it like a Garmin or a whatever other.
TomTom. Are those still around?
I think TomTom is one of the bigger ones who does the lane guide.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't do it like that. So it doesn't do it inside of the
Screen.
It doesn't do it it doesn't do it on the road.
Right.
It puts it on kind of the top left corner
Oh, okay. I see.
of
Yes.
the map, and it'll show you which lane you need to be in out of the however many are on the road.
Right.
So, and it'll also tell you what that lane does. whether it's a go straight lane, turn right, and go straight, turn right, and so on.
Which has been needed for a very long time.
I think so. I'm
Yes.
hoping this update will help people not fly across traffic to hit that exit because they didn't realize that the exit was on.
Well, and here's my point with that. If you miss the exit, we'll just take the next exit.
And then Google Maps will reroute you.
They'll reroute you, yes. I was using Google Maps the other day, and I took a wrong turn, and I was going to go ahead and turn. I was in a parking lot, turn back around, and it already rerouted and told me to go back the other way. So I just, if you miss your exit, you miss your exit.
Deal with it.
Yeah.
I think most of the people who miss their exits are not using navigation.
Not
They
true.
freak out.
Well, if you're on the wrong side of the road.
That's true. That's true.
Exit now! Exit now! No, that's when a family member gives you direction. Oh, you need to turn left, right, back there.
Oh, about that.
Yes. That's yes. That's never happened with me though. Never.
So, on top of that, they've added a bunch of other features as well. So they now, at the bottom of Google Maps, it now shows you, obviously the navigation
Right.
in the middle of the screen. So towards the bottom, it displays the distance,
Right.
the arrival time, and an alternate route just by pressing the button.
Let me tell you, their travel time is really pretty accurate.
It's spot on.
Man, it wasn't for a while, but now it's
Yeah, I mean,
Ooh.
I've traveled across country, and
Uh-huh.
it's still spot on when you take breaks. It's like it knows.
yeah.
There are built-in breaks. You got to stop and get gas. You're going to stop for lunch. It's like it knows down to probably within, depending on how far you're going, within the minute, or you're going further distances within 5 minutes.
Exactly. I'm really impressed with that now. It's
Well, if you think about it, though, I mean, every time someone's using Google Maps, they're getting that information
that's true.
at that time of day, as well as they're adding on whatever the traffic is at that point in time. So,
Right.
So there's a lot of data that goes into
It's amazing.
tracking and giving you information.
Simply amazing the way all that data can come in, and
There are wicked smart people out there.
there
figuring all
are
this stuff.
man. Woo.
I am thankful for wicked smart
Yes.
software engineers.
Yes. That's just woo.
That is a good career to be in.
Yeah.
And I recommend if you or someone you know, maybe your child, wants to get into software engineering or programming or something like that, go to
Oh.
code.org
Yes.
and check it out. There are other websites too, but code.org I know for sure. You can at least do some stuff for free to kind of start out,
To
get your feet,
Feet wet, yeah.
and just kind of figure out what you want to learn.
right.
But I mean, if you want to learn this,
That yeah.
this is the way to start.
Let me tell you,
It's,
bless those people, because I don't have the patience to sit there and do code, but those that do, man, they rule the world.
It's true. I mean, once you figure out how to code, you can pretty much do whatever you want.
Yeah,
It's
you write your own check. I mean, it's
You can and you can work from home a lot
Yeah.
of times.
you can work for Google.
You can build your own apps and kind of live off of whatever you need that way.
You
I know
could,
some people that do that.
yeah, and then you could, if you live in Russia, you can write code to write a credit card stealing program and sell it for $2,000.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. On the black market.
Exactly. I if I ever find this black market, I'm gonna tell you, I'd look.
Spend some money. No, just kidding. But they've added some other ones, so they now allow you, and this has been on there for a little bit, but to do offline maps. But now they've made it easier to save and manage offline maps. And so you can create like a custom list. So maybe you are traveling somewhere, you can have like from this point to this point
Right.
is already saved on there. So if you lose cell signal or data, you've already got it. Or if you don't want to use data, maybe you don't have a lot, you can download it on Wi-Fi and save
Exactly.
yourself a little thing.
Exactly. And so, if you're not around the Google balloon, you might lose some service. So.
They've added a bunch of other stuff. They've added one that's really interesting, and I don't know if everybody's familiar with this, but Uber. They added Uber app integration. So Uber is a ride-sharing service. It's
Yes.
essentially like a taxi that you call, but other
That's a
citizens-
huge debate right now in San Antonio.
it's a huge debate around the country.
Well, yeah, but it's really big here because they're trying to come in now. I don't know where I stand on that.
I can see both sides of it, but
Yeah.
I feel like what's wrong with someone making extra cash on the side if they're insured? And I mean, there's a lot of different things. Anybody can. I'm not going to go into.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
there's-
that. This is not political hour.
This is totally. You need to go super deep into that, but it's interesting that they've added that as an option. So,
Yes, that's
Um,
the Uber service.
so that's a pretty huge update for Google Maps. Obviously, it's available on iPhone and Android devices, both at the same time. It's already ready to go. So definitely the best mapping software out there for mobile devices.
I agree. So, we want to thank you for being here tonight. We talked about Android phones, how to stay away from illegal porn or any porn really on your phone because it can lead to a lockup of the screen. Talking about the credit card system overhaul, we had to make a correction on that because RFID is not as safe as some people think. We hope you learned some tech words,
Yes.
buzzwords.
And check buzzwords.
Aqua, higher. I didn't remember. Aqua. So we're gonna put all these on the website so you can take a look at them. And Google Maps, their most recent update. So some great tech info for you this evening. Mother's Day Eve, as I like to call the day before Mother's Day.
I just like to call it Spurs playoff team.
That's right. So we hope you're wearing your Spurs gear, and as soon as we're over, you can switch over to the TV and watch the game and not watch on YouTube anymore. We are great big fans. Go Spurs, go. We hope we get another win tonight. Whether or not they win or lose, I will tell you this. Next
We'll be
week,
back next week.
hey, you read my mind. You are a tech prophet. So good night. Thanks for listening. Happy Mother's Day. And Tech Talk SA will be back next week, 9 o'clock.
Same time. Same
AM Bat Place. All right.
AM 6:30.
Tech Talk SA shines a light on technology so you're not walking in the dark. Good night.
That's all.